The president has promised and ANC is going to deliver. Good afternoon, my name is Gail Fasaki and this is my ANC TV. The African National Congress expresses its gratitude to millions of South Africans who came out to cast their votes yesterday. The ANC is pleased that regardless of the weather condition in other parts of the country, our people braved the elements and came to exercise their democratic right to vote. So far, the ANC is victoriously leading the race. ANC takes Ntabankulu municipality in Alfred Nzo region with an overwhelming 86.1% of the votes. 22,729 voters of a total of 29,388 have once more placed their confidence in the ANC. It also has an overwhelming amount of votes from Limpopo, considering the fact that this is Julius Malema's home grounds. Busi and I took a walk to the ANC election house to experience the vibe and the energy. We had a chance to interview the Deputy Head of Elections, Comrade Mane, and many more. Let's take a look at these interviews. And here we are at the elections house, the ANC elections house, and right next to me is the Deputy Head of Elections, Comrade Mane. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. I'm super. I'm happy. You can see that my face, I'm shiny, glowing dear.
I know we expected 65% results, but so far I want to know from you, since the results are pouring in, how is the atmosphere this morning, this afternoon?
It is jubilant all throughout the country. All the provinces have been phoning, comrades, volunteers who have been working throughout this campaign are feeling that their fruits have delivered. And that's what we're happy about. There will be a party after Saturday. But for now, the results are encouraging.
Now that we've done the elections, where to from here?
From here is to continue, because as we're going through the campaign, we realize that we have missed 2 or 3 steps. And that to us as the ANC, as we got into this leadership from 1994, we promised our people we'll get rid of poverty, will deal with unemployment, will ensure that we serve our people, will be humble as a leadership. There are certain things where we have missed the steps here. And we listened to our people, we heard them. And we'll have to go and correct immediately and connect with our people to ensure that we can raise the tempo through the leadership of our president to ensure that we create the jobs, we lessen the poverty levels, because our people have got real expectation. That's the only promise now, that we cannot fault our people. We must make sure that we deliver on our promise.
I like that a lot. Last question. We've won Limpopo. It's Julius is back around. He's back home. How do we feel about that?
We always told him, we trained him. Me as an election head, I trained Julius on elections. And we told him, he's still a young man. He still have to learn from this big giant called the ANC. He can stand up and try to vote and try to fool the people. ANC will still make the great in Limpopo. It is the base of the ANC. So we say to him, he must be able to accept the defeat and respect the older ANC.
And there you have it. Respect the older ANC, all the way from the Deputy Head of Elections, Comrade Mane. Thank you so much, Comrade. And still at the election house. So a personal secret that I've been on is it was my first time voting. And right next to me, I have Boitumelo and Tepo. It was also their first time voting. Tepo, I'd like to know, why did you go out and vote?
I think as young people, it's high time we take charge of our lives and the government, and so that we can easily hold them accountable, you know. So that's why I went out, so that I know one day when I say I'm seeking a job and I'm a graduate, who do I hold accountable?
I like that answer. Yours. Why did you go out and vote?
I went out to vote because I felt it was important to exercise my democratic right to vote, which is a right that was fought for me by the ANC. And also, I believe in the policies of the ANC.
Now on to you still. I want to know, how was the experience? How was the queue? Tell me about that.
I arrived at 7 to go and vote, and I would think I was the only one there. There was a few people outside, but inside the voting station, I was the only one. So it was quick and easy.
For me, at first, the long queue was really frustrating, you know. But as I entered into the venue, I was really excited about what was happening inside. So it was really a thoughtful and a nice experience for me.
A last question. Was it what you expected?
Yes, it was. I think it was really what I expected. And I believe that going forward, there'll be more things to expect.
For me, yeah, it was actually what I expected. Even more, actually.
There you have it. He says it was even more. It was too overwhelming.
Next to me is Guketo, and this is Patricia. Kindly tell me, how was your experience as a first-time voter?
It was actually nice. I felt important. I felt having a voice for the first time ever, because this is the only time whereby you get to say, or you choose, who do you think is capable of, who has the capable competencies of leading us and growing our economy and our country forward. So it felt very overwhelming.
Bendonwabe kakhulu kuba bengiqala nokuvota, so it was overwhelming. Nothing I can say right now.
What advice can you give to someone who's out there, young as you, who didn't vote?
I'd say I think it's really important as young people to go out and vote, because the voting right is one of the most hard-won rights in our country, considering that people lost their lives, blood was shed, sacrifices were made post to the apartheid government for us to enjoy this right. So it's very important for young people to go out there and vote, exercise this right. Let us not let the sacrifices that and the blood that shed to go into vain.
Ndikubona kubalekile ukuze sokwazi ukuthi xa sinazo ingxaki sikwazi ukuziveza ku government wethu, because uvota kwethu kulapho kuvakala khona amazwi wethu.
What are your expectations with the ANC in governance?
Mina, I'm expecting jobs, more jobs for young people. I'm expecting the growth of our economy. I'm expecting our government to attract much more investments through foreign direct investment. And I'm expecting more houses for our people, more service delivery in general.
I can say more service delivering.
The ANC elections campaign played a phenomenal role. We are happy with the results coming in from all provinces. The ANC enhanced the election campaign by reaching out to remote towns. Our President, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, assured community members from these remote areas that he will definitely come back to deliver. And with the pace we are moving in, he will deliver even more than expected. This shows that the citizens of South Africa have faith in the African National Congress.
Siyazi ukuthi ninenkinga eziningi, enye yazo ile yokuthi abanye benu abasebenzi, ngithi kunjalo. Nalapha emakhaya apha abantu bakuthi bahlala khona, ukuthi uhulumeni uzoyenza yonke imizamo ukuthi kube neprogress. Yona into esijongane nayo. Ndivuya kakhulu ukuthi ndibe nexesha lokuthetha namakhosi, babeka amapoint wabo, babeka zonke ingxaki ezikhoyo apha, endathi kubo ndizivile, and sizawenza yonke imizamo yokuthi silungise lapho kungahambi kakuhle khona. First ballot paper, second ballot paper. Forward to victory, forward. Amandla. Amandla. Nakhetsa ntlheni vuya la. Loko hi ta celebrate loko se hi winile. Forward to victory, forward.
The ANC would like to take the time to convey our deepest condolences to the families of 2 voters who passed before they had the opportunity to cast their votes. We send our deepest sympathy to their families and loved ones. The ANC campaign has proven to be a success, but what we do know is the change that the ANC has brought over these past years. Let's take a look at an interview of the president of the ANC Veterans and hear what good the ANC has done.
What is the role of the Veterans League?
Well, the Veterans League's role it's the custodian of ANC values, traditions, and policies. Its role of the Veterans League is to authoritatively intervene on all issues that affect the integrity and dignity of the ANC. And so we've got the right, as members of the Veterans League, to call any member of the ANC who's found wanting through what you call the Integrity Commission to account to us. How is it that he behaves in an un-ANC manner? Because we have to make sure that we bring back the values of the ANC, the traditions of the ANC, which have been lost over the last 9 years.
What has the ANC done for the people in the past 5 years, building up to this current election?
No, the ANC has done a lot in the past 25 years. The ANC is the one that made sure that we are liberated today together with people of South Africa. The ANC was the leader of society in ensuring that we have this democracy that we have. It is the ANC that was elected in 1994 when 87% of South Africans voted the ANC into power. And then that was when we also elected President Mandela as the first black president of South Africa. If you can see over the last 25 years what we've achieved as the ANC, 94% of South Africans have gone through school, can read and write in South Africa itself. 4.5 million of South Africans have access to ARVs. In terms of medical health, 80% of South Africans can access medical health. And so we have done a lot for South Africans. And so we're an organization that is proud of its history. That is why it's important that society should give us another chance to govern on its behalf. We admit, and we humbly admit, that over the last 9 years, and especially 5 years, we veered off course as ANC, where we allowed corruption to go in, where we allowed state looting, where we allowed the collapse of state institutions. But we as ANC, we've got a way of reinventing ourselves, recorrecting ourselves, and re-engineering ourselves to make sure that we come back to the values of the ANC, we win back the confidence that society had in us.
What's in the pipeline to regain Western Cape?
Well, it's very important for us to regain Western Cape. We as Veterans League, we don't have a proper solid structure of the Veterans League. We are building a solid structure of the Veterans League so that Veterans League can work with the ANC elected leaders in the Western Cape to mobilize people in Western Cape to vote for the ANC. As you know, that we lost Western Cape about 9 years ago, and so we are definitely sure that in the next coming election, especially local government elections, we would have worked so hard to convince society in the Western Cape to have regained the confidence that they had in the ANC. And veterans will be on the ground. They'll do door-to-door campaigns. Veterans will make sure that they hold provincial meetings. They establish regions of the ANC. They establish branches of the ANC. They make sure that we build a very strong ANC. And also, if you build a very strong ANC, you can be able to win the coming elections. But firstly, we want to build a very strong Veterans League. Because once you build a very strong Veterans League, we can then be able to build a very strong ANC.
How is the mood here at Election House?
Well, the mood is vibrant. We are still not happy because we wanted to get 65%. But the mood is good. We feel confident. And we're happy that society still has confidence in us. And as our president said, we won't disappoint society. The president made it very clear when he was casting his vote, he made it very clear that those who are found wanting, those who are found to have were implicated allegations of corrupt activities, they will never be in his cabinet. He made it very clear because that's what society wants. And so we are, as veterans, as custodians of ANC values and traditions, we are happy with that.
ANC is leading now. What is the plan in the next coming 2 years?
No, the plan is to make sure that we deliver services to our people. During these elections, there have been mass demonstrations by our people saying that the ANC has failed to deliver in terms of road construction, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of schools, in terms of housing, in terms of electricity to the poor. And so this is what people are demanding. And we have the resources as the ANC. And we are saying that as Veterans League, we're going to make sure that the local government structures are being infused with people who've got skills, who are competent, and who are passionate by providing quality service to our people. The ANC is a big organization. And so the ANC will make sure that ANC deal with government officials who are found wanting, who take money when it comes to question of tenders, and who don't deliver service to the poor. Because if you don't deliver service to the poor, we won't win the local government elections. And so for us, what is important, we told society that society give us another chance to govern on your behalf, and we'll clean society, we'll bring back the integrity of the ANC. We want our people to walk with pride wearing this T-shirt and the ANC banner, an emblem. And so we are saying that when we go to local government elections, we'll have made sure that we have cleaned the ANC, we've made sure that we've employed skilled, competent, dedicated, and compassionate bureaucrats that will service our people and give our people quality service.
This is my ANC TV.
As the results are pouring in, keep that shampopo on standby as we are ready to pakama with President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Viva! Viva! Ako kang pinalo na! Pakama Ramaphosa! Ikaw!